Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're jumping into J.K. Rowling. She's wearing a t-shirt that calls Nicola Sturgeon a destroyer of women's rights. But we'll jump into this one here from The Independent. I love this fight that the trans community is having against J.K. Rowling. It's so funny when a very popular, or well, used to be a very popular celebrity book writer speaks out against the norm, right? Where everyone is losing their heads because she's not agreeing with them. So before we jump into it today, if you do want to support the channel, please subscribe below the video to see future videos, and also comment, what do you think? Do you think this is even newsworthy? And then there'll be a couple questions I asked throughout this as well, so please comment with your thoughts, and also like the video if you liked it. So jump into it. J.K. Rowling has photographed herself wearing a t-shirt calling Scotland's First Minister a destroyer of women's rights. The author tweeted a picture of herself wearing the garment on Thursday as she gave her backing to protest outside the Scottish Parliament over controversial gender recognition legislation. The t-shirt read, "Nicola Sturgeon, destroyer of women's rights." Ms. Rowling tweeted, "I stand in solidarity with For Women Scotland and all women protesting and speaking outside the Scottish Parliament." Asked by a journalist about the post, a spokesperson for the Scottish government said he had not seen it. Earlier on Thursday, a majority of the MSPs on the Equality, Human Rights and Civil Justice Committee recommended the general principles of the Gender Recognition Reform Scotland Bill should be approved. So the legislation aims to, so here's the picture here anyway, Nicola Sturgeon, destroyer of women's rights. The legislation aims to make it easier for transgender people to be legally recognised as their preferred gender. Campaign group For Women Scotland hosted a rally outside Holyrood following the recommendation of speakers. Ms. Lamont told demonstrators that upon its establishment, the Scottish Parliament was a created parliament where policy, where action, where law was shaped by an understanding of what created division and inequality. So what this means is that these laws will allow women to, someone who changes their gender, let's say, for example, from male to female, there's a 3-month cooling off period, right? And then they can literally go into a woman's bathroom. So let's have a look here. Under current Scottish law, transgender people are required to submit a medical diagnosis of gender dysphoria to a UK gender recognition panel to be able to legally change their gender. The proposed reform would remove those barriers and lower the age to 16. So you can be 16 and change your gender. It would still require applicants to swear their intent to permanently change their legal gender and go through a 3-month waiting period. In March, the famously transphobic Rowling, I'll just say the famous J.K. Rowling, took to Twitter multiple times to object, arguing that allowing transgender women access to women's facilities would put cisgender women, why is there cisgender, right? It should just be, should put woman at risk of assault. It's true. Let's have a couple of examples for you guys. Bathroom sex attack, transgender woman 18, sexually assaulted girl 10 in female toilets in Morrison's. Trans activists attack woman at protest for violence against women. Isn't that a bit of a kick in the guts, right? I mean, they're literally attacking women, but they're protesting against violence against women. Just doesn't make sense sometimes, does it? And then also Daily Mail Australia, transgender inmates have carried out 7 sex attacks on women in jail. Despite the risks, male-born trans convicts are still allowed to move into women's prisons. This one was from 10th of May. So what do you think is going to happen in public toilets, right? If a trans male, trans female, whatever it is there alone with a normal woman, normal female, and then they suddenly just decide, oh, I'm going to attack. They're physically stronger, they're physically bigger, and they could sexually attack the person too. So, you know, I'm not for having shared bathrooms. I think there should be, if anything, if they really want to include everyone, they should have a 3rd bathroom. That's what I think when it comes to it. They should have like a trans bathroom. In my opinion, that'll solve everything. But let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see where this goes. It's always interesting to see what J.K. Rowling says. I've become a bigger fan of hers just for her actually talking her mind. Not that I always agree with what she says, but just for her talking her mind, I can stand for that. Like the video if you liked it. comment with your thoughts, and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching.